I want to have 2 more fights this year. Then after that, take off a little bit of time, maybe have a kid or something, and then come back and fight some more.
Becoming, it doesn't mean I'm not going to have time for the other kids, but it does mean I have a new baby and I have to focus and give that baby my undivided.
Wait, the light-skinned girls who think they just so pretty and just because they born light-skinned that they just all that they can come up with shit talk.
Like my best friend, I talk to him about everything, you know, and when like the time is right, you know, people want details of how long we've been.
Nobody expected what happened that night. It started like any other quiet evening on social media, the kind where people scroll without thinking and pass time before bed. Then, without warning, Papoose went live. No music, no smile, no headline or teaser. Just his face on the screen and a look that made people stop and lean closer to their phones. He didn't open with jokes or energy. He opened with silence. A long pause that felt heavier than words. Then he said one sentence that made the comment section freeze. "I've stayed quiet long enough." Within seconds, thousands of viewers rushed in. Screens were being recorded. Messages flew past so fast they couldn't be read. Everyone could feel something serious was about to happen. This didn't feel like content. It felt like a breaking point. Papoose didn't yell. He didn't rant. That was what made it more uncomfortable. His voice was steady, like someone who had already cried in private and didn't have any tears left for the public. He said what people saw online wasn't the full story. The smiles, the interviews, the red carpet moments, the supportive posts, those were all for the camera. According to him, behind closed doors, things were very different. Then he mentioned a name people thought belonged to the past. Her former fiancé. The comments exploded. Some people typed question marks. Others typed her name in all caps. A few begged him to stop, but he kept going. He claimed that while fans believed they were watching a real love story unfold, there was another relationship happening quietly in the background. He said this wasn't a misunderstanding or a moment of confusion. He described it as something planned, hidden, and repeated. What made the room go silent was when he said he had proof. Not rumors. Not messages from friends. He claimed he had screenshots, voice notes, and videos saved straight from her phone. He said he didn't want to show everything, but he had seen enough to know he wasn't imagining things. People watched, stunned, as he shared parts of what he said were private conversations. He described messages where meetings were arranged carefully, where words of affection were used like tools, and where plans were made behind his back. According to him, he wasn't really a partner in the story. He was protection. A familiar face meant to keep the public calm, while real emotions were invested somewhere else. His voice cracked once when he said, "I was used." That single moment hit harder than any shout ever could. Then the live ended. No goodbye. No closing words. Just a blank screen. And that's when the real storm started. Within minutes, clips were everywhere. Every platform had a version of the video. People slowed it down. They replayed certain sentences. They studied his face, his pauses, his tone like detectives searching for hidden meaning. Some rushed to defend him. Others rushed to defend her. There was no middle ground. Neutral opinions disappeared almost instantly. What made things worse was the silence that followed. There was no response. No statement. No denial. No explanation. Just quiet. And silence online is never empty. It fills itself. Gossip pages began building timelines. Old photos resurfaced. Past interviews were pulled back into the spotlight. Fans started pointing out moments they said felt off in hindsight. Some admitted they had defended the relationship harder than they defended their own personal lives. The story stopped being about one night. It became about patterns. People focused on one line Papoose said over and over again. That loyalty ended where the camera lens stopped. To many viewers, that didn't just sound like cheating. It sounded like performance. Like a relationship created for image instead of connection. Supporters of Claressa Shields pushed back. They said one person's version is not the full truth. They questioned the timing. They questioned the choice to go live instead of talking in private. They asked why proof was shown without outside confirmation. Their voices were loud, but momentum was louder. The alleged ex-fiancé's name began trending too, even though he said nothing. His old posts were reposted by strangers. His past interviews were cut into short clips and given new meanings. People argued over what role he played. Even though no one had heard from him directly, everyone became a judge. Some praised Papoose's calm tone. They said it felt honest and raw. Others said the calm felt planned, like control instead of emotion. The debate wasn't really about how he spoke. It was about who people trusted. As the hours passed, reaction videos outnumbered the original live. Body language experts appeared. Commentators spoke with confidence they hadn't earned. Each retelling added more drama, more color, more assumption. The story grew bigger than the people inside it. Beneath all the noise, a quieter conversation started to form. People began talking about what it means to be present in public but absent in private. About how love can slowly turn into something that feels like a role instead of a connection. About how being seen together can sometimes replace being honest with each other. By the end of the day, the question had shifted. It wasn't just "did this happen?" anymore. It became, what does this say about the way we watch other people's relationships? Some felt sympathy for a man who said his trust had been broken. Others felt anger for a woman being judged without speaking. Many felt tired, realizing how fast pain turns into entertainment online. As night came again, people waited. Would there be a response? A denial? An apology? Or more silence? Each option carried its own consequences. And that's the part no one could escape. Once something this personal becomes public, there is no clean ending. Even if the truth comes out later, first impressions leave marks that don't fade easily. This stopped being just a story about a relationship. It became a lesson about how quickly private moments turn into public trials. About how easily people become characters in a story the internet feels entitled to finish. Whatever the truth is, it now lives in two places. The real world, where feelings, conversations, and consequences still exist. And the online world, where belief often matters more than proof. And in that space between those two worlds, reputations change, trust bends, and silence speaks louder than any statement ever could.